Hello everyone, this is the Game Biter, and I'm back with some more Aurora 4X. Now, in the first part of this series, I basically just started the game up, and did everything I could do for my first turn. Now we're actually going to go to the next turn. First, I kind of need to explain how turns work in this game. Turns can take a certain amount of time, and in this game, you can choose how much time you want to pass in that turn. So, if you go you go down to something like 5 seconds, which is really only useful if you have ships in a battle, something like that. But you can increment the time by 5 seconds at a time. You can go all the way up to 30 days, which that's probably what we're going to do to start out, since we only have to. We're just sitting here researching trans-Newtonian tech and expanding our shipyards. So there isn't really much more to worry about. But let me just go a day right now. Now our date's saying it's the 2nd of January. A day has passed. If you go to the second to last button, you can look at events. I guess nothing's happened. Okay. I thought something would, maybe that's only every 5 days. But if we just go a day at a time, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. It's really, right now, it is really not calculating anything at all, since there's no ships to if there were ships built and moving around, any time increment you would pick, it would move that ship along however long it could go, in a day or an hour or 5 seconds. But if I go one more day, let me kind of zoom in a little bit. Notice what happens when I go one more day. Everything just moved. So there is one simplification that this game makes to cut down on the processing work. Is it has they call it the construction time cycle, and you could set that in at the start of the game. There was a at the game creation screen, there was an option for construction time cycle length, something like that, and it was set to, it was like 400,000 seconds or something like that. But that basically means that's 5 days. So every 5 days, certain things are only calculated every 5 days. Mostly anything that doesn't have to do with ships is calculated every 5 days. Planets and comets and asteroids only move in their orbits every 5 days. Your planets will only construct things. That's only calculated in that. It also includes things like your population growing, research taking place, mining getting done, There's a long list. Well, there's a long list of things that's included in that, but it's basically anything that doesn't have to do with ships is only recalculated every 5 days. So that just kind of takes a lot of load off of the game, gives it a lot less stuff it has to calculate if there's a lot of things going on. So if I move ahead another 5 days, oh, everything just moved again. And oh, if we look at the events again, I think on the 6th, a lot of leaders were automatically assigned to different positions. So that was one option that we set after we set the colony governor and the fleet administrator, fleet officer. We just said to automatically assign the best person they can find to all the other lower positions. So we don't need to change anything with that. They'll just, every time it recalculates, it'll just assign the best person to each position. And it's not really that's not really anything you need to worry about. Also, you can set auto turns, so the game will just automatically run. It'll just keep running until an event, an event significant enough that you have to react to it in some way. This is kind of cool. You can just kind of see planets moving around their orbit. Oh, it just stopped. But yeah, you can see planets moving around their orbits. Comets. These comets were moving away from the sun. These asteroids were orbiting. Let me look at this menu. What happened? Oh! We ran out of thorium. So, okay, that was one thing I forgot to deal with. Let me stop this. But fuel production was something I forgot to deal with. This is basically, you can build refineries on your planet. And also these your conventional industry will do refining too. But the thorium that you mine, you have to refine them in refineries, turn them into fuel. And I think for every thorium, you get 2,000 liters of fuel out of it for every thorium. So let's see, we're out of thorium. So we're not going to have any ships for a few years, so I'm just going to turn off thorium production. We can just kind of stockpile some thorium. And also the game won't keep bugging me about, oh, we're out of thorium. You have to do something about it. So that'll be good. Also, there's a setting in display. You can show events on the bottom here. So as the game's running, it can show you events on this map that's going on. So that's a good setting to turn on. How's my shipyard doing? Yeah, we're nowhere near yet. That still needs to grow by quite a bit. So I'll advance by 30 days at a time here until something else happens I need to deal with. So everything's moving really fast. People are graduating from the academy, getting promoted, increasing their skills. But it's all happening kind of so fast you can't really see. And the game's just going to run until something significant enough that we need to address it. And something just happened. So, a team on Earth led by Lucas Middleton has completed research into trans-Newtonian technology. So, yes, now that we know trans-Newtonian technology, that opens up a lot of options for us. So, you see on the build menu that a whole bunch of stuff was added. Like mines, automated mines, fuel refineries, construction factories, fuel refineries, ordnance factories, research labs, spaceports, terraforming installations, all kinds of stuff. But what I'm going to work on right now is I'm going to convert some of my conventional industry, some of it into construction factories and some into mines. So I have 1,000 conventional industry, so I'll turn 700 of those into factories, and I'll use 70% of my production. Dang it. 70% of my production, and then I'll turn the other 300 into mines, use 30% of my production, so that basically they will both finish at the same time. And let's see, it's like the middle of the 4th year. This is saying it's going to take like 15, 16 years to complete. And I mean, that sounds insane. But if you remember, conventional industry is very inefficient. Construction factories, they work. They can produce things 10 times as fast. So as I am converting conventional into the specialized factories, my production will go way up, and this time will every 5 turns, this time will get adjusted sooner and sooner and sooner as I have more production to finish it sooner. So this is not going to take anywhere near like 16 years. It might take probably half that much or less, I'm thinking. But so yeah, we'll have that. Ooh, I'm going to, my shipyard is big enough right now for the biggest ships I want to use. Like the biggest ships, well, the first ships I want to build, it's big enough for those now, so I'll just stop its activity. So it won't be using any minerals to expand it. And well, that's a good thing right now, because I want to focus everything I have into upgrading my production and mining. So hopefully I won't run into a resource shortage if I'm making some mines as well. Hopefully my mining will keep up with my production. So let's see, what was the next thing? I don't think I need to research. Well, actually, let's go into, am I ready to try to design my first ship? Let's go. You go into this button. It looks like a model of a ship. It's this is the ship design screen. I'm going to start a new design. Apollo. I might just keep that name. But this will be, I'm going to be designing a not gravitate, a geological survey ship, which will basically, it will travel to every object in the solar system and perform a geological survey of that object, which will tell me if what kind of resources is on that planet or that asteroid or that comet. So yeah, I kind of need to get some intel first, and then I'll have make decisions based on that where I want to what will I want to strip mine first, stuff like that. Where would be a good place to colonize, all that kind of stuff. Let's see, we go into our components. Oh, we've got all this fancy stuff. But there's one little thing that we're missing. I don't have an engine. I don't have an engine that I can build. Now, I guess I can explain. For like generic components, like fuel storage and cargo holds and bridges and crew quarters, as soon as you research the technology, you just have that component. You can use that component. For anything... Oh, actually, I need to... dang. I need a geological sensor first. I was going to explain this whole other thing, but I need the sensors. So, God, I didn't even think of that. If we go to sensors and fire control, we have geological survey sensors. I'm going to need these in order to survey my solar system and see what resources it has. Just show matching only. Yeah. So Kyle Hall, go work on that, please. And you will take just under a year to complete it. It'll be done 18th of April of the 5th year. So that'll be good. And also this ship that I was working on, it just automatically saves the design. So it'll just sit here, and whenever I research the technology I need, I can just add components to it, whatever. Because it's just a design. I haven't started constructing yet. Okay. Is there anything else? I think that was it. So actually, let's go by 5 days at a time for a little while. We'll go to industry, and you notice this completion date for these construction mines, factories and mines. It is every turn is getting earlier and earlier because we're continuously building up our production rate. So we're going to finish this a lot sooner than what it's showing right now. Okay, good. Our resources are holding up okay. So even with all this construction, our stockpiles are slowly rising. So that's a good thing. Oh, and we just researched into sensors. So finally, I'm back to this ship. I'm going to add in the sensors. So that's awesome. So this ship can now survey planets and objects. And the only other problem is it still has no engine. And what I was trying to explain earlier is more specialized components don't just exist by themselves. You actually have to design your own more specialized components like engines and missiles, launch systems, all kinds of things. Um, and based on what technology you have researched, you can change different statistics about the object. So let's go to this button here, kind of the screen with the right angle ruler next to it. Create research project, and it's telling me cannot design active centers because we don't have active center streak technology. That doesn't matter. We are going to work on an engine. We're going to use conventional engine technology because that's all we have researched right now. And conventional engine technology, that's basically the kind of spaceship engines we have today in the real world. They just combustion engines that run on some kind of liquid or solid fuel, and they're just having the special thorium fuel put into them so that they'll be a little more efficient than the ships of today, but they'll still be nothing compared to the new kinds of engine technology we'll research in the future. So, and I guess I could also explain here how the movement works in this game. It's called this technology. This game is based around trans-Newtonian technology, which basically means it's kind of the made up idea that ships will have a maximum speed that they can move at. They don't work off accelerations like in a regular like Newtonian physics, where they gain momentum and once they're moving in a direction, they'll move in that direction at that speed until they're acted on by an outside force. Ships in this game do not act like that way. They have a maximum speed, and the second that they start moving, they instantly move at that maximum speed, and that's the only speed they'll move at. So that, I guess that's just to simplify ship movement, and also that's a lot less intensive to calculate. But I mean, I guess you can just calculate how long a ship will take to go from point A to point B just by its distance divided by its speed. That's it, you're done. So it's a lot less to calculate. I'm guessing that's why he's doing it this way. So, using conventional engine technology. And there's other things we can edit that will change how powerful it is, how big it is, how efficient it is. One thing I should point out to you is right now this is saying this is a military engine, and military, anything that's considered military has breakdowns and maintenance applied on it. And if you have any object that's considered commercial, it has no maintenance applied to it. It doesn't simulate maintenance for it. So it's kind of going off the idea that if you're using like military technology, it's bleeding edge. You're just trying to go sit, but with engines, you're not concerned about fuel efficiency or anything. You're just concerned about raw power, how smallest engine I can get with the most power, so I can go the fastest as possible, stuff like that. And with military technology, it tends to break down a lot more. It's a lot more intensive. You need a lot more maintenance. And the way this game simulates that is anything that's classed as military can break down and has to undergo maintenance, and anything that's considered commercial doesn't simulate any of that. They'll just run forever as long as they have fuel and things like that. So, it says here, engines of 25 hull size or greater with half its power or lower are classified as commercial. So this means we're going to need a big engine with at least half the power for it to be considered a commercial. So if we go right now, we're looking at a 5 hull size engine, and as we go down the list, we go to 25. You'll see fuel consumption goes down. So as you make bigger engines, its fuel consumption goes down, so it's more efficient. You get the same power out of it, like per size. Not known. Wait, do you? Yeah, you get the same power out of it compared to its size, but it's more fuel efficient. And also, if you can lower the engine's power, and you can greatly reduce its fuel consumption. So if we go down to right here, if we're at 100% engine power, we're at 100% fuel consumption. If we go down to half the engine's power, we're only using 18%. So this means, this engine is only running at half of its power, but it's only using about a fifth of the fuel it would use as a full powered engine. So this engine is a lot more fuel efficient. It can go farther, and it'll be a commercial engine, so it won't break down. And this will be good. It's big and bulky, so it won't be anywhere near as fast as a military engine, but you don't really need fast engines for commercial. You want your fast engines for military ships, since they need to be as fast and as powerful as possible. But commercial ships, whatever is cost effective, whatever's efficient, is a lot more useful for those ships. So I can give this engine technology or this engine design a name. I don't really have one. I can't really think of one right now. I'll just suggest a name. Archer Glover. So Ellis Birch, Moss Systems, Shepard Aerospace. Sure. So this is going to be known as the Shepard Aerospace 2.5 engine power commercial conventional engine. So I'll create the research project. So I clicked create, and now if I go into my research screen and go to power and propulsion, that technology, that engine design was added to my research screen. So I've designed this engine, but I now need to do some research into it to be able to construct it and use it. So for any like more complicated component, you need to design your own components and research into them to be able to use them. So it adds a lot more depth to like ship construction and whatnot. So we're at power propulsion. Make Amy Myers work on it. Jamie Myers. And it only needs 50 research points, so it's going to take just a few days to research. So we'll research that really quick in like 2 turns or 1 turn. So we now have our engine technology. I'll add that. I'll go back to my Apollo design, and we'll see we have an engine here now. Shipyard Aerospace. It has 2.5 engine power. It's a size 25 component, so it's a big engine and it's not that powerful. But if you notice, if I add it on, now this says my ship will move 45 kilometers a second, which by modern standards, that's actually pretty fast for a spaceship. 45 kilometers a second, that's pretty fast for a spaceship. For this game, that's like a snail's pace, but it's kind of the best we can do right now. Now, I'll add a second engine to increase the speed. And I've got a 3,500 ton geological survey ship. I think it's a commercial vessel. Its range is about 20,000 kilometers. So that's about, that's going to be enough distance for this ship. That's about the distance from the center of your solar system to the outer edges of it and back. So, this ship should be able to reach everything in the solar system to survey it. And then, ooh man. Also, it has a range. It also has how many days the engine can run. 3,142 days. So this engine can run something on the order of 9 or 10 years straight on its fuel. So one thing I'll need to do is go to deployment time over here. I can't have a deployment time of 3 months because if I set the deployment time that much, once 3 months passes, the crew on this ship will start to get, wary. They'll be ready for shore leave. Their efficiency will go down. They won't work as fast. And that's just going to be horrible for everything. So I'll need to set this deployment time to better represent how long this ship will be out at a time. And the engine can run for about 9 years on its based on how much fuel it can hold. So if I set the deployment time to 10 years, so 120 months, you notice the ship got a little bit bigger because the ship's going to be out for longer, so it needs more, I guess, food and whatnot stored in it for the per person per crew. So it added 150 tons worth of supplies for the crew, so the crew can be out for 10 years surveying planets and asteroids and stuff. So I think this will be. I think this ship is ready. I don't think I need to do anything else to it, so yeah. So now I can go to the shipyard and set it to start constructing this ship. Oh, shipyard, manage shipyards. Oh dang. One thing about your shipyards, each shipyard can only be assigned, tooled to one class of ship, one design of ship. So I have to go in here and retool the shipyard for the Apollo class of ships. So actually, if I set the activity, it just automatically did it. So when you any shipyard you first set will have the first design of ship you retool to it is free. It happens instantly. And then anytime you want to change the design of ship that shipyard can work on, you're going to it's going to take resources and time. So you want to plan out where you don't have to do that so often, because you're just going to waste time. So yeah, now we can actually construct Apollo ships. So we're going to construct our first Apollo ship. I will just call it Apollo. So it's the first ship of its class. This is the first major ship our empire is going to build. It's going to be a survey ship. It'll take... It's not saying, is it? Oh yeah, I have to click here. Sorry. Click there. Is it still not... Why is it? Let me add if I add the task, what does it show? Okay, yeah. Sorry. So the shipyard's going to build the ship. It's going to take about 10 months to complete. Yeah. So I'll end this here for now. In the next episode, we're going to have our first ship in the game constructed, and we'll start using it. We'll go into how fleet orders work in this game and all that stuff. But until then, see you guys later. Bye.